Hello, everyone. Welcome to this live section. God bless you for joining me. Tonight's topic is the power of consistency. The power of consistency. Tonight, we are talking about something more reliable than motivation, something more predictable than luck. Okay? And that is the power of consistency. Like I will always start, destiny is not built in a day. Destiny is not built in a day. Destiny is built daily. Destiny is built daily. Listen very well. Greatness is never an event, it is a habit. I repeat it again. Greatness is never an event, greatness is a habit. If you clap for someone's success, what you're really clapping for is the days you did not see, the mornings they woke up early, the nights they stayed disciplined, the boring days they showed up when nobody was watching. That is exactly what you're clapping for. Consistency is not glamorous, but it is unstoppable. Nobody can stop the power of consistency. I repeat that again. Consistency is not glamorous, but it is unstoppable. It is unstoppable. When you're consistent in whatever you're doing in life, when you're consistent, nobody can stop you. Consistency is the key to progress. Consistency is the key to moving forward. Nobody can stop the power of consistency, okay? Most people fail not because they lack ability, they fail because they lack endurance. People fail because they lack endurance, not because they lack ability. All right? They start strong, but they don't stay long. A lot of people start strong, but they don't stay long. And the difference between champion and dreamers is simple. Champions don't quit, they stay. While dreamers start and they quit. All right? Champions stays, they don't quit. But dreamers, they start, but they quit. You don't need a dramatic move. You need a daily move. You don't need to run fast. All you need is to refuse to stop. You simply need to be persistent. That is all you need. Because small actions repeated daily become unstoppable power. All right? Small actions repeated daily, they become unstoppable power. Hello, welcome. God bless you for joining. We are talking about the power of consistency. The power of consistency. And I said, destiny is not built in a day, it is built daily. Destiny is not built in a day, but it is built daily. Greatness is never an event, it is a habit. Habit forms greatness. All right? If you clap for someone's success, what you're really clapping for is the days you did not see, the mornings they woke up early, the nights they stayed disciplined, the boring days they showed up when nobody was watching. That is exactly what you're clapping for. Consistency is not glamorous, but it is unstoppable. You cannot stop the power of consistency. You can't stop a man that is consistent in what he's doing. I repeat it again. Consistency is not glamorous, but it is unstoppable. Most people fail not because they lack ability. They fail simply because they lack endurance. They lack endurance, that is consistency. They are not consistent in what they are doing. They try a little, and when the thing seems like it's not working, they quit. And that is not how we grow. If you see a man who has achieved in what he's doing, he has been consistent in that thing, that very thing, he has been consistent in it. They start strong, but they don't stay long. That is the quitters. The quitters start strong, but they don't stay strong. They start strong and they quit when that thing is not working. But when you see a man who is consistent in what he's doing, when he starts, he never quits until he gets what he wants. And the difference between champions and dreamers is simple. Champion stays, dreamers start but they quit. The champion stays while the dreamers quit. You don't need a dramatic move. You need a daily move. A daily move. That is consistency. You don't need to run fast. All you need is to refuse to stop. You simply need to keep pushing and don't stop. Okay? Because small actions repeated daily becomes unstoppable power. Small actions repeated daily become unstoppable power. Let's talk honestly here, my family. Motivation is overrated. Yes, it feels good. Yes, it is exciting. Yes, it gives you energy. But motivation is emotional. Consistency is intentional. Consistency is intentional, while motivation is emotional. If you wait until you feel like it, you will rarely do it. All right? If you wait until you feel like it, you will rarely do it. The gym does not change your body in one day. Reading one page does not make you wise. Praying once does not build depth. Saving once does not build wealth. But do it daily. Yes, when you do it daily, you watch what happens in 6 months, just 6 months. Consistency compounds, it compounds, just like money in a bank earns interest. Consistency is like a money in a bank that earns interest. Your efforts earn compound growth. Your efforts earn compound growth. One prayer daily becomes spiritual authority. One workout daily becomes strength. One business call daily becomes income. One page daily becomes knowledge. All right? It is not dramatic, it is daily. When you are doing it consistently, the result will be magnificent. So, why do people quit? Let me tell you why people stop. They don't see result fast enough, and so they quit. We live in a microwave generation. Everybody wants instant success. But destiny is cooked slowly. Destiny is cooked slowly. If you plant a seed today and dig it up tomorrow to check if it is growing, you will kill it, isn't it? Growth is invisible before it is visible. Growth is always invisible before it becomes visible. I want you to read it in your spirit. Tell yourself growth is invisible before it is visible. When you start being consistent, you will feel like nothing is happening. But my dear, something is happening, okay? Roots are forming. The roots, they are forming inside, okay? And roots matters more than fruits. Roots matters more than fruits because it is the roots that holds the tree. It is also the roots that holds the crop or whatever you planted. Because when storm come, it is the root that hold you. So let me tell you the law of small things. Never despise small beginnings. Okay? Even the Bible say you should not despise your little beginnings. So never despise your small beginnings. Small steps are not small if they are consistent. Okay? Small steps are not small if they are consistent. One phone call daily, one skill practice daily, one scripture study daily, one act of discipline daily. It may look insignificant today, but it becomes significant tomorrow. Yes, it may look insignificant today when you start it, but I bet you by the tomorrow, the next week, and the next month, it becomes very significant. A river does not cut through rock because of power. It cuts through rock because of persistence. Yes, a river does not cut through rock because of power, but e cut through rock because of persistence. Because e keeps hitting the rock, e keep hitting it day by day, every day, and before you know, the rock will scatter. Alright? The water is soft, the rock is hard, but over time, the soft wins. Why? Because of consistency. So when you're consistent in whatever you're doing, I bet you will surely conquer that thing. Nobody can stop the power of consistency. All right. Discipline over emotion. Your emotion will betray you. Some days you will feel strong. Some days you will feel tired. Some days you will feel inspired. And some days you will feel discouraged. Consistency says, I show up anyway. I show up anyway. That is what consistency says when he's feeling all those things I mentioned now. Not because I feel like it, but because I decided. You have to decide to be consistent. Decision builds destiny. Decision builds destiny. Your future does not care about your feelings. It responds to your habits. Your future responds to your habits. Okay? It doesn't care about your feelings, how you feel, but it responds to your daily habits. That is what your future responds to. What you do daily determines who you become permanently. Yes. Whatever thing you are doing daily, it determines who you becomes permanently. Here is something very important. Consistency is easier when it becomes identity. Yes. Consistency is easier when it becomes identity. When it has mastered you, alright? When it is now in your DNA. Consistency, I no go gree, I will not let go, okay, until I get that. Instead of saying I am trying to pray, say I am a person who prays. Instead of saying I am trying to be disciplined, say I am disciplined. When consistency becomes part of who you are, it stops being forced. When consistency becomes part of who you are, it stops being forced. Identity drives behavior, okay? If you see yourself as focused, you act focused. If you see yourself as excellent, you act excellent. And if you see yourself as average, you act average. Change your identity and consistency becomes natural. Change your identity and consistency becomes natural. Okay? I want to tell you about the 1% rule. Very important, please. Please listen to this 1% rule. It will guide you in life. Improve by 1% daily. Just 1%. Only 1%, okay? Read a little more, just by 1%. Pray a little deeper by 1%. Work a little smarter by 1%. Rest a little better by 1%. Save a little more by 1%. 1% daily improvement over 1 year is massive growth. Please let this one sink. 1% daily improvement over 1 year is massive growth. Dat 1% you're putting up in your little things you're doing, 1% on daily basis, dat 1% will eventually become a massive improvement over 1 year, which is 365 days. Alright? Most pipu overestimate what they can do in 1 week and underrate what they can do in 1 year. Most pipu overestimate what they can do in 1 week and underrate what they can do in 1 year. Consis ten cy makes the impossible possible, alright? Consis ten cy makes the impossible possible. So when you feel like giving up, what do? There will be days you want to stop, yes, that one is certain. On those days, don't think about the whole journey, just focus on today. Just focus on today. Dat very day you want to quit, forget about thinking about the whole thing, the whole journey. Focus on today, the daily, that very day. All right. Win for today. Win for that very day. Don't worry about the next month. Okay. Do not worry about the next month. Just win for today. Win for today. Don't worry about next year. Win today. Win today. All right. Consistency is built in 24 hours blocks. Consistency is built in 24 hours block. You don't need 10 years of discipline right now. You need today. You need just today. All right? And when tomorrow comes, do it again. Do it again. Quiet growth. I want to talk about quiet growth right now. Real growth is quiet. Real growth is quiet. The loudest people are not always the strongest. The most visible people are not always the most developed. Build in silence. Build in silence. All right? Stop announcing your progress. Build in silence. Let your consistency speak. Be consistent in what you're doing. Let that consistency speak for you over time. When results finally shows, people will call you lucky. They will not see the mornings, they will not see the sacrifices, they will not see the discipline, but you will know. And that confidence is unshakable. All right. Now we talk about the power of routine. The power of routine. Create your routines. Create routines. Routines removes excuses. Routines removes excuses. If you decide in advance, I pray at this time, I read at this time, I work on my vision at this time, you eliminate debate, and debate kills consistency. All right. The more decision you automate, the stronger you become. The more decision you automate, the stronger you become. All right. So I want to tell you about legacy in building daily. Legacy is built daily. All right. Your future self is watching you. 5 years from now, you will either thank yourself or regret yourself. Consistency writes your future. All right. Consistency writes your future. Nobody drifts into greatness, they decide into greatness. Okay. Nobody drifts into greatness. Greatness is not what you achieve by mistake. No, you decide into it. You decide into greatness. So tonight, I want to challenge you. Pick one thing. Pick one thing, not 10 things. I said one thing. And commit to doing it daily for the next 90 days. Pick just one thing. Commit to doing it daily for the next 90 days. No excuses, no drama, no emotional negotiation. Just daily obedience. Daily obedience. Because small daily obedience creates massive long-term reward. All right? Please let it sink. Small daily obedience creates massive long-term reward. Consistency beats talent. Yes, consistency beats talent. Consistency beats intelligence. Consistency beats luck. It beats luck. All right? Show up even when tired. Just show up. Even when unnoticed, continue to push. Even when results are slow, continue to push. Because what you do daily is who you become eventually. Whatever thing you do daily is what you finally becomes. All right? And destiny is not built in a day. Nobody can say his destiny was built in a day. Destiny was never built in a day. It is built daily. Destiny is built daily. All right? So, my family, decide today. Decide today. Be intentional about your decision. Okay? Stay disciplined. Be disciplined. Stay focused. Stay focused and stay consistent. Stay consistent. All right? And before you know it, you're already at the top. You're already at the top. All right? Like I told you before, a lot of people, they want success. A lot of people, they want to make great results immediately, but they don't want to imbibe in the power of consistency. They always quit. They quit. They try a little, when it didn't work, they quit. To be honest with you, I will use myself as an example. There are times I stream here and I have just one person, but it didn't deter me. I am still pushing. I am still pushing and I will continue to push. All right. So that is the consistency we are talking about. As I'm talking to you, I am talking to myself too. And honestly, as I'm talking to you, I am talking to myself. I will continue to push. And I want you to have that mentality. Do not give up. Do not give up simply because it didn't work immediately. The fact that it did not work immediately does not mean it will not work tomorrow. It will surely work when you continue, when you're persistent or consistent, it will surely work. Like I said, you cannot pray your way into a future you are not disciplined for. You can't pray your way into a future you are not disciplined for. And you cannot pray your way into a future that you're not prepared for. A lot of us, we want success, but only few of us want structure. Only few of us apply discipline and consistency. Many people want to prosper, they want breakthrough, they want to make it big, but only few people want process. Only few people are ready to apply the process. Many people want the crown, only few want the cross. Only few of us want the cross. Your future is not blocked. Your future is waiting for you to grow into it. All right? So, like I said, every level of life requires a different version of you. At every level of your life, it requires a different version of you entirely. The version of you that handles 50,000 naira today is not the same version that can handle 50 million tomorrow. Okay? So the version of you that leads 5 people is not the same version that can lead 5,000 people. All right? And the version of you that manages small responsibility cannot suddenly manage global influence. Your future requires an upgraded you. It requires that consistency that will upgrade you. It is in that consistency that you get upgraded. And upgrades requires discipline. And upgrades in life requires discipline, a lot of discipline. Okay? Not excitement, not prophecy, not emotional moment, discipline. And like we all know, discipline is doing what must be done even when you don't feel like doing it. Discipline is doing what must be done even when you don't feel like doing it. Alright? Discipline again is choosing long-term reward over short-term comfort. Discipline is choosing long-term reward over short-term comfort. Discipline is obeying your purpose. Discipline is obeying your purpose instead of your feelings. Instead of your feelings, alright? Your feelings says sleep more, but discipline says wake up. Your feelings says scroll your phone. Discipline says study, study. Your feeling is telling you spend the money, but discipline says invest the money, invest it. Your feeling is telling you give up, and discipline is saying continue to push. And hear me, my family, your feelings are not your leaders. Your value must lead you, okay? For good evening, and thank you for joining me. God bless you. So now, let me ask you something. If God answered your biggest prayer tonight, would your current habit sustain it? Peradventure God answers that your prayer request tonight, would your current habit sustain it? um? For yeah, God is with you. You will surely make it in Jesus' name. So, like I said, if God answer your biggest prayer tonight, would your current habit sustain it? If the opportunity you have been praying for arrives tomorrow, are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? Or would you sabotage it? Because sometimes what we call spiritual warfare is actually lack of preparation. Lack of preparation, sometimes lack of discipline, lack of discipline, lack of consis ten cy, alright. You pray for increase but you don't manage what you already have. You pray for influence but you're inconsis ten t but you're praying for influence. You see now, e cannot work, alright. You pray for expansion but you're disorganized. You're praying for expansion, meanwhile you're very disorganized. So when the expansion come, how are you going to manage it? God is not cruel o. God is not cruel. He will not promote you into destruction, alright. God will always prepares you before he elevates you, and that is why this live stream is coming at this time, okay. You have to prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. Be consis ten t in whatever you're doing. You have to learn to push. Learn not to quit. Any slight thing you quit. You try something once, twice, it didn't work. The next moment you quit. You jump to another one. You try today, tomorrow, it didn't work, you quit. Let me be honest with you, all the big big people you hear their names today, they fail too many times. They fail. Some of them fail 1,000 times before they eventually made it, and that is because they were consis ten t. You must be consis ten t for you to make it in life. You have to apply consis ten cy. Consis ten cy. I no go gree attitude. In my locality here, they call it I no go gree attitude. You have to push, continue to push, alright. So I want to talk about three areas of discipline now. Three areas of discipline. Number one is mental discipline. Mental discipline. Your mind is the control center of your life. Your mind is the control center of your life. If your thoughts are scattered, your life will be scattered. Yes, honestly, if your thoughts are scattered, your life will be scattered too. If your thoughts are negative, your results will be limited. If your thoughts are negative, your results will be limited. Mental discipline means you choose what you think about. Mental discipline means you choose what you think about. You reject thoughts that weakens you. Reject thoughts that weakens you. You feed your mind with knowledge. Alright? You feed your mind with knowledge. You protect your attention. You protect your attention. Let me say something very important here. Social media is not evil, but undisciplined consumption is dangerous. Yes, social media is not evil, but undisciplined consumption is very dangerous. If you spend 3 hours watching other people build their dreams and 0 hours building yours, you are entertained but not empowered. You're simply being entertained and not empowered. Alright? Greatness requires focused thinking. Greatness requires focused thinking. Read books. Yes, read books. You heard me well. Read books. Books that will lift you. Books that will take you to the next level. Okay? Listen to teachings. Listen to teachings. Study your field. Study that your field. Grow your mind. Grow your mind. Because your income will rarely exceed your mindset for long. Grow your mind because your income will rarely exceed your mindset for long. Alright? So let me talk about the number 2, emotional discipline. Emotional discipline, this one is very deep. Not everything you feel deserves expression. Alright? Not everything you feel deserves expression. Mature people do not react to everything. Mature people do not react to everything. They respond with control. They respond with control. Emotional discipline means you don't let anger control decisions. You don't let anger control decisions, alright? You don't let fear stop movement. You don't let your fear stop movement, alright? And you don't let jealousy poison relationships. You don't let jealousy poison relationships. Again, it means you don't let temporal disappointment create permanent quitting. Very important. You don't let temporal disappointment create permanent quitting. Hear me, my people. A person who cannot control their emotion cannot control their future. If you cannot control your emotion, you can rarely control your future. I am telling you the truth. Leadership requires stability, alright? Leadership requires stability. Marriage requires stability. Wealth requires stability. You cannot build something great if your emotions are always in charge. Hear me well, you cannot build something great if your emotions are always in charge. Alright? So number 3, daily discipline. I've talked about 2 discipline. This one now is daily discipline. Greatness is not built in one day. Alright? Greatness is not built in one day. It is built daily. Greatness is built daily. What you do repeatedly is who you become eventually. What you do repeatedly is who you become eventually. If you read daily, you become knowledgeable. Very simple. If you read daily, you become knowledgeable. If you save daily, you become financially stable. Yes, if you save money daily, you become financially stable. If you exercise daily, you become healthy. You become healthy when you exercise daily. If you pray daily, you become spiritually strong. When you pray daily, you become spiritually strong. Big results are small actions repeated consistently. Please let it sink. Even if no other things sank today, let this one sink in your brain. Big results are small actions repeated consistently. Small actions repeated consistently yields big results. Okay? The problem is not that you lack this destiny. No. The problem is not that you lack destiny. The problem is that you lack consistency. The problem is that you lack consistency. That is the major problem. Now, I want to talk about something very uncomfortable. And that thing is what? Excuses. Excuses. Excuses are the language of mediocrity. Excuses are the language of mediocrity. I didn't have time. Everyone has 24 hours. I don't have connection. That is what you hear from them. I don't have connections. Build value and connections will come. Alright? Build value and connections will come. It's hard, yes. Everything meaningful is hard. Everything meaningful is hard. It is not my season. It is not my season. That's what you hear them say. Sometimes they will tell you it is not your season because it is your training period. Stop waiting for motivation. Alright? Stop waiting for who will motivate you. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is structural. Discipline is structural. You don't need to feel inspired to act. You need to decide to act, and decide today to act. Alright? Decide today to act. Decision creates momentum. Decision creates momentum. Let me tell you something very powerful now. Your future self is watching you. Alright? Your future self is watching you. The man you will become in 5 years or in 10 years or in 15 or 20 years, depending your age, is watching what you do tonight. Yes, is watching what you do tonight. The woman you will become is watching how you handle this week. Are you making that future version proud? Are you making that your future version proud? Or are you disappointing him? Are you disappointing him? Because one day you will meet your future. Yes, one day you will meet your future, and it will either thank you or blame you. One day you will meet your future, and it will either thank you or blame you. Now let's talk about sacrifice. You cannot become exceptional while living exactly like everyone else. Yes, you heard me right. You cannot become exceptional while living like everyone else. If everyone else is sleeping, you must sometimes study. Yes, if everyone is sleeping, you must sometimes study. And that is what will make you exceptional. If everyone is spending money, you must sometimes save. If everyone is spending money, you must sometimes save. If everyone is complaining, you must sometimes create solution. You must sometimes create solution. Alright? Greatness requires separation. Greatness requires separation, not pride, not arrogance. but separation of habits. E requires separation of habits. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is discipline applied consis ten tly. Let me repeat it again. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is discipline applied consis ten tly. Let me give you a practical structure. From today, wake up with in ten tion, wake up with in ten tion. Plan your day, alright? Plan your day. Write down three important tasks. Write down three important tasks. Complete them before distraction. Complete them before distractions. Track your spending. Track your spending. Invest in learning. Invest in learning. Limit entertainment. Limit entertainment. Protect your energy. Pray with focus. Alright? Pray with focus. Rest strategically. Rest strategically, because rest is very important also. Repeat. E sounds simple, but simple does not mean easy. Yes, all what I've mentioned now sound very simple, but simple does not mean easy. E requires self control. E requires self control for you to do the above mentioned things that I mentioned now. E requires your self control. So are you ready to apply the self control? You have to, so that you can move forward this year. Now hear me clearly again. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is self respect. Discipline is self respect. When you discipline yourself, you are telling your future, I care about you. When you discipline yourself, you are telling your future, I care about you. When you wake up early, you are voting for your dreams. Yes, when you wake up early, you are voting for your dreams. When you say no to distractions, you are voting for your goals. When you say no to distractions, you're voting for your goals. When you stay consis ten t, you are voting for your destiny. Yes, when you stay consis ten t, you're voting for your destiny. You vote daily by your habits. You vote daily by your habits. Some of you are frustrated because progress feels slow. Yes, some of you are frustrated because progress feels slow. Let me encourage you. Slow progress is still progress. Yes, slow progress is still progress. A tree does not grow overnight. A tree does not grow overnight. But when roots are deep, storm cannot uproot it. When roots are deep, storm cannot uproot that tree. Your discipline is building roots. Okay? Your discipline is simply building roots. Invisible today, unshakable tomorrow. Do not despise small beginnings. Yes, please do not despise small beginnings, because even Bible said we should not despise our little beginnings. So please do not despise your small beginnings. Do not quit because results are not immediate. Do not quit because results are not immediate. Consis ten cy compounds. Consis ten cy compounds. Now, I want to speak to the believer lis ten ing. I want to speak to the believer lis ten ing. Even spiritually, discipline matters. Alright? Even spiritually, discipline matters. Prayer requires discipline. Study requires discipline. Character requires discipline. The anointing may open doors, but character keeps them open. Alright? Anointing may open doors, Prayer may open doors, but character keeps the door open. Your character is what will sustain that open door. Alright? Gift may attract attention, but discipline sustains influence. Discipline sustains influence. Do not rely only on gifting. Develop structure. Develop structure. So tonight, I want you to make a decision. I want you to make a decision tonight. Not an emotional decision, a strategic one. I want you to make a decision tonight, not an emotional decision, a strategic one. Choose one area of your life that needs discipline. Choose one area of your life that needs discipline. Is it finances? Is it your finances? Is it time management? Is it your time management? Is it spiritual life? Is it health? Pick one, just one. Commit to 30 days of structured improvement. Just pick one and commit to 30 days of structured improvement. No excuses, no breaks. Alright? No excuses, no breaks. Just choose one and commit to 30 days of structured improvement. No excuses, no break, no negotiation with laziness. 30 days, just 30 days. Transformation begin with commitment. Transformation begins with commitment. You are capable of more than your current habits reflects. You're very capable of more than your current habits reflect. You're stronger than your distractions. You're very stronger than your distractions. You are bigger than your excuses. You're bigger than your excuses. But potentials without discipline is wasted greatness. Potentials without discipline is wasted greatness. Your future is not waiting for a miracle. It is waiting for your maturity. Your future is waiting for your maturity and not miracle, alright? Stand up internally. Stand up internally. Take responsibility. Build structure. Embrace discipline and become the person your destiny requires. Alright? Become the person your destiny requires. Honestly, if you go to my channel, by the time you listen to one or two or three of my encouragement and motivation stories, your life will turn to a very great thing that you yourself will not imagine. They are born out of experience. Whatever you see me tell you here is what I apply myself. As like I told you initially, as I'm talking to you, I am talking to myself. I am also applying all these things I mentioned to you here now. I'm not just narrating it to you, I am applying it myself too. And I'm working on myself too, because I'm not perfect either. And I've not been able to achieve all these things myself too. So I am working on myself too to achieve all these things, because it is not what we achieve in one day. So please make a decision tonight. Intentionally make a decision and choose one area, just one area that you want to work on. Work in one aspect of your life where you need improvement. No excuses, no breaks, no negotiation with laziness. Just intentionally work on it, and you will see what God will do. You will see how you will come out better. All right. So I don't know if you have any question or anything you want us to talk about. I am right here with you. I will still come back to talk more on this. Please, if you have not subscribed, kindly do so. When you subscribe, you're still helping me to grow. All right. God bless you for your time. I love you all. You can go to my channel, you will see a lot of encouragement and motivation that will turn your life around, that will change you automatically.
Honestly speaking, I'm not just saying it.